Hi everybody, this is Nikki from Plan and Color, and this is my first video. I've been posting my layouts and challenges that I've participated in on Instagram, and I've been on a forum for the Boho Berry tribe on Facebook. So some of this people have already seen, but I thought I would share my first video, and this is a healthy lifestyle journal that I'm starting. I do have a daily bullet journal that I've been keeping for the last year, and I was tracking my steps and my workouts and water intake in that. And in April, I decided I wanted to have a personal journal for my healthy habits, the things that I want to be working on, and then have a journal that just consisted of like the family schedules, things going on at work, and kind of separate the two. So I had a journal just focused on my healthy habits. And so I bought this journal from a local bookstore. It's a moleskin journal, soft cover. See, it's bendable. And I like the elastics. I have gone hardcover for my daily journal. I was a little bit nervous about the soft cover. I'm hoping it holds up well, but I have a lot of faith that it will. And then the pages I've chosen are the dotted pages. I have done the graph paper pages, and I really like those with my daily. And as I was doing the designs for this with the dotted, I've decided I may need to switch over to dotted when I fill up my day-to-day, because I'm kind of liking the cleanness of the page without the squares. So I found something new, something new I'm excited about. So we're going to open up my journal. And my first page is a quote that I found on Pinterest from another pinner, and I wish I could remember who it was, but they had made this page and it said, 1 year from now, you'll wish you started today. And I really do believe that in a year, I'll be glad that I did this. Or in a year, I could be exactly where I am and just be sad that I didn't start. So I need to remember, you know, you're going to be glad that you did this. Just hold on, keep going forward. The next 2 pages is I want to post a picture of myself before. I haven't done that yet. It's not the most flattering picture. And also the statistics of when I started, what my start weight was, and what my starting BMI was. And then hopefully at the end, when I'm all done in a year, I'll have a page that's similar that will have my finished picture and then my stats from that, what day I finished, what was my weight, and what was my BMI at that point. So hopefully significantly less. This is the plan I'm doing, and I'm not doing a specific diet where it's high protein, low carb, anything like that. I'm just working on my habits. I just want to have healthy habits and track them and do something to stay motivated to continue to lose weight. So I've chosen to cut back sugar. Now I know there is sugar in everything, so I'm not totally going sugar-free, but no more sweets, no more cookies, no more cakes, no more ice cream. It'll be hard in the summer to go without ice cream, but no ice cream. I may give myself a cheat day once a month, and I'll track that somewhere. I haven't come up with a page for that yet. And then water. I am a Diet Coke drinker. I love my Diet Coke. I've actually joked that if I'm ever in an accident, instead of blood, they will have to pump Diet Coke into me because I am 50% Diet Coke. So I'm going to try to cut back my Diet Coke and drink more water. I have 2 32-ounce water bottles that I will fill up and drink throughout the day. But I will be having to add Mio to them, or a water enhancer of some sort to give it flavor. I enjoy flavor. Water is just too bland and plain. I know there are water people that love it, and I'm just not one of them. So 10,000 steps a day. A couple of years ago, I was so good at this. I would walk around my bedroom to make sure I hit my 10,000 mark before I went to bed, and I've kind of fallen off of that, so I need to make sure I'm getting my 10,000 steps every day. Journal my food. I plan to do this with my Fitbit app, and also journaling it on the pages in my journal. And one of the things I plan to do is to journal the food before I eat it. I sometimes get in the habit of saying, oh, well, I'll journal it later, I'll take care of it later. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to be journaling before I eat. No eating after 7 p.m. I read a book recently called Buddha's Diet by Tara Cottrell and Dan Zigmund. And it kind of dealt with our circadian rhythm and talked about the importance of giving your body that time to fast, and that your body really does need that. And it's a very interesting book. I highly recommend it if you're into that kind of stuff. But I'm going to try to stop eating at 7 p.m. and see what that does, if that really does help, or if I'm just starving to death by like 2 o'clock in the morning and feel like I need to rummage through the fridge. That would be bad. So hopefully that is not the case. Working out 5 times a week. My workouts will be walking and riding my bike, and then I hope to incorporate some weights and maybe some challenges. I've seen like push-up challenges, planking challenges, month challenges. So I may incorporate those and then have those be pages within here where I'm tracking how I'm doing with those. So that will be a fun thing to do. 1,200 calories. I had posted on a forum on Facebook that I was doing 1,200 calories, and I had a lot of people give me some suggestions to maybe up that. And I think I will the days that I work out. I'll eat those workout calories. But like on a Sunday, I don't really work out too much. I go to church, I come home, and I kind of do that whole day of rest thing. And so on those days, I will probably stick closer to that 1,200 number, mostly because I'm not really getting the workout in, and I don't think then my body will need the fuel like it will on the days that you work out. So 6 hours of sleep. I don't sleep well. I get about 4 hours, and then about 3 o'clock in the morning I wake up and my mind is racing. So my goal is to try to get more than 6 hours, 6 or more hours of sleep. I don't really have a goal how to achieve that. Try to go to bed earlier maybe. It's just something I would like to work on, because I know my body needs a rest. And that goes back to the book, Buddha's Diet. They did talk about your body needs the sleep too. So that kind of ties in with the stopping eating at 7 p.m. My next page is really blank. It is just a graph to show my weight loss. And every week I'll weigh myself, and, I may go up, I may go down, depending, we women, we will retain water even though we've done everything we feel like we should have been doing and not lose anything. So I just would like to see if there is a rhythm to that. So that's what this graph is for. Then this is the fun one. This was the board or layout I made a couple of weeks ago. I'd seen other people that had made kind of like game boards to track their loss. And so I did the same. I played on the Monopoly game and called it Poundopoly, used the little Monopoly man, put a little measuring tape in his hand. And then every pound that I lose, I'll color in. And at every 5 pounds, I have a prize. So one of them is nail polish, shopping at Charming Charlie's, getting a pedicure, buying new shoes, getting a new Fitbit band. I'm tracking my steps and miles with my Fitbit. And so I'll give myself a new Fitbit band. New jeans, 30 pounds. Someone did say you may want to buy new jeans sooner, but I think 30 pounds is a good time to get my new jeans. A massage, new workout outfit, and then a new dance outfit. I go dancing with my husband every Friday night. We line dance and two-step and swing dance, and I thought that would be a fun treat right before I hit my goal. So this is my game board, and I'm pretty proud of this. I think this turned out really good. This is where my measurements will be going. And again, I haven't filled anything out. It's a pride thing. I think as I go along and I'm finally starting to lose weight, it won't bother me to share those numbers because I won't be there anymore, and I'll be proud of it. But at this point, it's something I'm kind of like scared to show to people. So I won't be sharing those numbers yet, but every month I'll measure those. And then at least on the month, maybe when I'm I feel like I haven't lost a lot of weight. There may be inches lost, and that will be motivating to see a loss somewhere. And this is the silhouette. I've seen it in other people's layouts. So I just used that same silhouette and then drew in measuring tape. Just thought it turned out kind of cute. This is where I'll track my steps and my miles for the year. My steps, it says 240. It's actually 240,000. And with 30 days in a month, trying to get 10,000 steps, that comes to 300,000 steps. So I let myself not have to, if I have a month where maybe I didn't get as much. So it starts at 240,000, goes up to 500,000. So hopefully there'll be some varying numbers on this graph, hopefully more up at the top. And then the miles that I've walked or run or biked go down here. So this will be where I track for the year, the progress with that. This page is just for quotes. I am inspired by words, and so I thought this would be a fun place. I'm working on my writing styles, so I can try different writing styles while writing quotes. So that's kind of for me. And then on this page is my activity log of the days of May written down, the distances I traveled, the time it took, activity, how many steps I got that day, and then any notes, maybe where specifically I went, why I didn't do something that day. So like yesterday, I spent the entire day in the car, about 10 hours. I was driving from my home to St. George and then back up. I'm in Utah, so back up to South Jordan. And so I did not get very many steps that day, and I will write that note there so I'm not disappointed in myself for being a sloth. It was really because I was stuck in a car for 10 hours, moving kids to college and home. So, and then this is just a month calendar, and then here is my tracker, and that's where I'm tracking those 8 healthy habits that I'm working on, and hopefully that'll get nice and full, and I'll be consistent with that for the whole month. And then the last thing I'd like to show you, this is my week layout. And so this is May 1st through the 7th. This is week 1. Every day I have, I'd like to track when I'm sedentary and when I'm moving. Kind of like on when you use your Fitbit, you can see when you were more active, when you were less active. And so I'm going to use that. So if I'm not doing anything, that number will probably be in red, or those boxes will be red. And then when I'm really working hard, I'm dancing, I'm walking, I'm running, that will be green. And then I'll probably have some orange and yellows in there where maybe I'm cleaning the house, or, I have slight activity, but it's not a full-on workout. So I can see, okay, yeah, I was pretty lazy this day, or, this day I was, I've got lots of greens on here. That was really good. I was really active, really busy. So that's how I'm going to track there. And then I have, for my tracking my food, and down here I have the miles I walked that day. This is just from my Fitbit app also. I'm just taking it from the app. So the miles I walked, the steps I got, and the calories that were burned. And then this is calories eaten, and this is hours slept. And then down here is just an opportunity to write notes, maybe how I was feeling that day, why it was a good day, why it was a bad day, but just jotting down the notes to the day. And then this is where I'll graph weekly some of those habits, my sleep, my water, and my steps. And then I will take that information and use it for the month tracking. And then from the month tracking, it'll go to, so it'll go back into this information, and then this information goes on to the other graph that I showed you back here. So I'm kind of moving information around. So that is how my weeks look. And that is my Healthy Habit Journal. Please follow me. I plan to come back and show you my week filled out and what I'm doing for June. If I keep the same layouts, as I go along, I may determine that this layout doesn't work for me and I need to change it up. And I'd also like to show some of my daily bullet journal layouts and share with you the things that I like to use, the tools I use. So please follow me. And if you have any questions or any advice you have to this, please feel free to comment at the bottom. And thanks for watching me, and we'll see you soon. Bye.